What's up, Aries? I'm Chris. Welcome to your May Taroscope. Now, I'm sorry I missed you guys last month. Things got pretty hectic over here, but I'm happy to be with you here now. Happy belated birthday. And Aries, the energy here, coming into this reading is a little. It's two-sided, right? It goes two ways. On the one hand, I feel like this sort of exhaustion from your sign, this sort of sense of having been through a lot, having gone through a lot, having had to be tough, be strong, all that stuff. But then there's also this feeling of like being really revved up, being really ramped up and ready to go and make things happen, and using this Taurus season energy to sort of get grounded, get practical, using the fire of your season now, carrying it into the work part. So we're getting stable, we're thinking about our future, we're thinking about our money. And Aries, this feels like it's sort of healing for you. Not necessarily like you guys had to have been through a lot or gone through some trauma. If you have, of course, this is part of that. But it's even just like a sort of leveling up. You know when you get a checkup at the doctor or you go to the dentist and nothing's really wrong with your teeth, like you don't have to get a root canal, but you get a cleaning, you get a whitening, all that stuff. It's still like a sort of healing in a way, a leveling up. So let's jump right into the reading. We're going to start with our central situation and then go ahead and look at where we were coming into the month in May with, what went down in April, and then where we're going forward. My website is all ready to go. It's launched, so guys, go ahead and take a look at that. You can book readings now. I have a system there. You get your reading within 48 hours of the appointment time. Makes my life easier, makes your life easier. And you can also donate and find other content there as well. All right? Aries, so this month we have the full moon as our central theme. We're looking at fullness, right? This is that manifestation power that I was just talking about, that go-getting power. I think light has been shed on a lot. With the full moon, we become aware, but in a different way than the sun. With the sun, we become aware because light is shed on everything, and Two of Wands just popped out. We'll go with it. The light is shed on everything, and we can see clearly. This is the same kind of light being shed on things and the same kind of clear seeing, but it's more internal. It's more of a coming to terms with what is in our subconscious, what our truth is. And Aries, this is what that healing was that I was talking about. That sort of recognition of what you need, that recognition of like where you're at right now and what you need to do. And also having this full chalk gas tank of power to make it happen. Two of Wands, what are we doing here, guys? We're making choices this month. We're deciding what we want to be, who we want to be, where we want to live, what we want to do for a living. The Two of Wands is that fiery energy put into motion. It's that like spark that I was talking about, put into motion. So this month, guys, things are getting put into motion. Long-standing plans, long-standing ideas. You start to see progress. And you start to feel growth in a certain way. You start to feel like the external growth of your life is matching the internal growth of your life. What you've been through, what you've experienced, the wisdom you've gained is now kind of going to be seen in your material world. Things are going to start coming into being in May. Now, Aries, I think the trick here is to stay focused. This, to me, is looking like, you know how you have bumper lanes in a bowling alley? It's like staying in your lane. And that doesn't mean, like, not pushing yourself. Like, the way people say, like, to be all sassy and should stay in your lane. It means, like, focus on your lane. Manifest your lane. Stay in your lane that's like uniquely yours and purely yours. This is a month I think about figuring out what your story is, right? Who are you now? In our ideals, Aries, we have the Eight of Swords, so maybe having a hard time figuring that out. Maybe knowing something needs to change. maybe knowing exactly what needs to change and resisting it a little bit, telling yourself that now's not the time, or you don't have the resources to make it happen. You're not qualified enough to get a higher paying job. But here in our deals, we're a little stuck in our heads, Aries. A little limited right now in allowing yourself to really imagine greater possibilities. Like this card says to me right now that there are possibilities, Aries, that you can't even understand right now. You can't even conceptualize fully. Or maybe there are things that you're resisting, that you know for sure and you're resisting it. Either way, the Eight of Swords tells us that you are keeping yourself in place in certain ways. The good thing is that it's mental, right? So it can be overcome with the shift in attitude, with a sort of real fixed idea about what the future is, making plans. Like literally writing them down. Like, do you have a budget, Aries? Do you have a 5-year plan? This is a good month to work on that. And as you do so, let your imagination go as big as you can. You want to dream big, because then you have to fill that space, and it motivates you and inspires you to be bigger and bigger and bigger. It's better than dreaming small and then like growing into it and then like kind of feeling confined. So here, our first card of the past, Aries, well, what we've been going through coming into May, we have the waxing moon. Progress towards where we are now, right? Where we start here. Feeling a little without, maybe feeling a little not powerful, not in total control of your life. Too many outside circumstances. This is like somebody who has like just a little glimmer of hope in my eyes for this reading, right? Maybe having like an attitude of some good things that you can be grateful about, but almost like being grateful for them as a way to like maybe ignore the bigger problem, right? Telling yourself that you should be happy with your job even though every day you go you hate it, right? That kind of thing. But remember, this is in the past. So this is the energy that you're coming out of. This is the energy that is inspiring you to move forward. Because there's almost a sense of like not wanting to feel less than. Like less than you feel about yourself, right? Having the outside world reflect this version of you to yourself that makes you feel like less than you feel like you should feel like, right? Like you should feel like a boss. Now we have the Tower. So back to my original point, a lot of truths making themselves evident. Things have come to light. You've had these like epiphany moments, Aries. It's hot in here. My face is a little flushed. It's like 75 degrees in LA already. And my house is a little stuffy, so it's like almost 80 in here. Anyway, so we have the Tower. The energies are coming in with. Now, the thing I love about this, especially with these kind of cards here, these kind of all go together, is that when the Tower falls, now we have this foundation of honesty where we can imagine whatever we want. And we have the energy to make it happen, and we have the clarity to make it happen. So this is also the card that's ruled by your ruling planet Mars. And I think at the time I'm recording this, Mars is in Gemini. A little heated up. A little done with certain things. But Aries, I think the message here so far is you're only limited by what you can imagine is possible for yourself. And there needs to be, or feel like there's this sort of emotional shift that's happening which is allowing you to sort of see different possibilities now. Because as much as this is coming up in our ideals and what you're thinking, this Eight of Swords, I also believe that you're kind of peeking through it and seeing what's on the other side of that fence, right? You're getting a glimpse, right? You're getting a glimpse. Here, rounding out April, we have the Magician. So this is where you decide that Mars and Gemini energy, where you decide. There's like a big emphasis here, Aries, on using your brain to figure out where you're going. This is not something I think right now a tarot card reading is going to tell you. The point of it is a journey of self-discovery about yourself. Now, maybe in a private reading you could get some guidance. That's not a sales point. I'm just saying this is a general reading, so we're looking big picture here. And the message so far is that you have the power now to rebuild in whatever way you want to. You just have to be really sure, Aries, about what you want. And it's like you know. I mean, everybody has that, right? Everybody has moments of not living exactly aligned with their ideals. Having to work a job because you need to pay bills, and that's real life. But there's power this month, Aries, I think, in at the very least starting to connect with that part of yourself that has those sort of big dreams, those big ambitions. It's not like an overnight fix, but I feel like there's a almost energetic connection that needs to be made with that part of yourself and to feed it and to give it life. And our turning point, Aries, we have the Ace of Cups. So first of all, I think feelings of feeling supported and loved and cared for. But also with the Ace of Cups, this is our passions. These are our dreams. So Aries, your dreams might be on overdrive lately. Your fantasies about the future might be on overdrive lately. But it feels so soothing. It feels like what I was just saying about a moment of connecting with who you actually are. You know, when you like have a hobby or something that you haven't done in a long time, and then you start doing it again, and then you just feel like yourself again in a way that you haven't felt in a long time. So whether it's like a hobby, arts and crafts, or a connection with a certain person, or doing a certain thing, whatever it is, there's a connection to something in you, Aries, that is almost like this internal source of unconditional love. So what do we do with that love, Aries? It has to be channeled. The thing that I want to say, that I always feel like I want to say to your sign, but especially now it just is coming up in my head, is that you have to be like lead by example, Aries. It's the shady energy of Aries that just kind of pushes people around and tells them what to do. It's the enlightened, evolved version of Aries that is a leader, but is a leader by example. So Aries, going into May, you're going to start to feel you're going to start to reap the benefits of the work you've been doing. The Seven of Pentacles says that you have some rewards on the way. Connections that might work out. A little bit extra stream of income. But it also feels like there's this waiting game that's happening here. So I don't know if you've been waiting for something for a while, and this month you start to see it come into your realm of being. Yeah, let's go with that. I like that. But there's also this emphasis, Aries, on like playing the long game. On being patient. And I think I talked about this last time we did a reading together back in March. But patience is a virtue here. There's potential to burn yourself out if you like go for quick fixes. There's a potential to like trip, stumble, and fall if you go for like, you know, get rich quick schemes, right? Now we have the Knight of Pentacles. This is an independent journey. Some of you might literally need to start doing things by yourself, spending more time alone, being in solitude. Maybe but it's like not to be like an antisocial hermit, because there's work being done when that happens, right? Even if it's just the work of reconnecting to self. I think that's the theme of this reading this month, Aries, is reconnecting to self in a way that emboldens you, in a way that makes you feel secure, in a way that makes you feel prosperous in the world. It's invigorating, it's energizing. That's why I said like the party's over, but you're like hyped still. You're like, yo, where's the after party? Everyone's like, nah, dude, go home. It's late. And you're like, no, but I'm like real hyped. Where's the after party? And you're like, go home. And you're like, all right, after party in my house. Aries. I don't know where I went with that. But there is a very strong, especially in the area of your work and your finances. All this stuff I'm talking about is not just like mushy, gushy mumbo jumbo. This is stuff that affects your ability to take care of yourself financially. Taking care of yourself financially might be looking for a higher paying job. Taking care of yourself financially might be, you know, chilling on a bad habit. It's self-care. And it's like, do you care enough about yourself, Aries? Work. Say, man, I gotta work. So now we have the Eight of Pentacles rounding out the month of May. 7, 9, 8. If I knew anything about card games, maybe this is like means something. I don't know. But in the world of tarot, putting your head down, doing your work, being in it for the long haul. Most importantly, I love how this ended, because what have I been talking about this whole reading is connecting with passions, connecting with the things that motivate you and drive you. And Aries, once you start to actually make moves, I think that the message here is to kind of turn off the thoughts. The thoughts are self-defeating right now. And what makes you overcome these defeating thoughts is actually seeing the rewards of your work. Even if it's just finishing a part of it, right? Seeing it materialize is the most powerful thing to get you out of this place of doubt and insecurities. So it can be baby steps, right? Even at the bottom of the deck, we have more pentacles, the Two of Pentacles. You've been trying to do a lot, Aries. You've been trying to do the most. This is why I said, going back to the beginning of the reading, now we also have a 2 that's calling back to the beginning of the reading. And what did I say in the beginning about focusing, staying on your lane? The Two of Pentacles coming at the bottom here, and the scope of everything else says that you've been taking on too much. A little unfocused. A little in certain ways, I think, giving of your energy to other people or other places. Like if you come home from work drained, if your significant other makes you feel drained, if someone, your friends just make you feel drained, that's what I'm feeling here. There's like this drained energy. That's why I said in the beginning, like if there's this exhausted feeling to Aries. So let's go ahead and pull one card to see what we got for an outcome here. But Aries, overall, a month of power. You know, we've had these big transformative moments that we've been going through. And this is what I meant when I said that we're kind of healing. Because now coming into April, we start with this, with the Ace of Cups. And now we're in a world of being material girls. You know? This is Taurus season. This is the gift that this earthy ass season gives us. Is not just wealth and prosperity and focus on all that, but the self-esteem and the sense of self and the connection to self, the trust in self to make those things a reality. Aries. So, wrapping it up. So there's a lot of moons going on here, right? I'm doing this reading a couple days before the new moon in Taurus. At the end of the month, we'll have a full moon in Sagittarius. And now we're at the halfway point. But look how beautiful that is, right? It's almost like we started out the reading having this vision of power and success and worthiness and energy and all that good stuff. We started out in just the beginning phases of it, where there was just maybe a little hope, but not that much. And now we're at the halfway point. Still ways to go, right? That's why I'm talking here about patience, but a lot more hopeful, right? This is exactly the energy that I was talking about with these two cards. Making things happen that push you past this gate of self-limitation and non-belief in yourself and doubt and all that stuff. And then we end up here. Closer. Halfway there. Especially considering where we started. All right, Aries, I love you so much. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Again, check out my website, all that good stuff. Your donations help keep this channel running. Those are much appreciated. And you guys are going to have a great month. Look out for my weekly readings, and I'll talk to you soon.